We have a brand new design today in the Florida Maquis mask store. This one pretty much speaks for itself, Trump 2020. I would recommend getting this sooner rather than later because we all know the people who oppose Mr. Trump only operate from feeling. Everything is about their feelings and how they feel about this, feel about that, or feel about the other thing. In today's video, we're going to show evidence that that's the case. And also more proof that Donald Trump is actually winning, and winning big. Now, here is, of course, the mask in the store. It is available in, I guess the best way to describe this would be 3 trims. The center part, of course, Trump 2020, the red stars, the blue background. There's red trim on the side. You can also get it in navy trim and black trim. I personally like the red one the best. I think it makes it stand out, makes it pop a little more, but that's just me. This is, of course, mask number 41 that we have created. Something here at the mask store for everyone, for absolutely everyone. So, without any further delay, those who joined us on Twitch last night, we discovered something together that was absolutely astounding. Many of you know who've watched the Antarctica videos, I've made this allegation that there is very likely a civilization down there undiscovered, living in large cavernous tunnels underneath the ice. Well, sure enough, there's a region in this game, Middle-earth: Shadow of War, called Saragast, that has tunnels just like the ones I'm alleging exist. And not just me. Not just me. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Hold on. There was a plane they outfitted with sensors some years ago that they flew over Antarctica, and they found tunnels underneath that ice that were nearly as tall as the Eiffel Tower. And they went on for miles and miles. So it's not some make-believe allegation. Antarctica is bigger than Europe. It's the 5th largest continent on the planet. And the vast majority of it is undiscovered underneath that ice sheet. These tunnels that they discovered, they believe, were caused by large amounts of meltwater, which would then beg the question, where's the heat coming from? And if they're that big and there's flowing rivers, that's pretty much all we would need. We know there are volcanoes down there, right? We know volcanic soil is excellent for planting crops, right? There's giant cracks and crevices that could be allowing light to flourish and come in certain places. They have everything they need. Literally unending amounts of fresh water, giant caverns, volcanic soil, and we've discovered over 100 things on the surface that would lead you to believe something very different is happening down there. Now, what am I talking about on Twitch, though? Check this out. This was a small snippet of last night's game, 1 hour and 41 minutes in. You could have this in Antarctica, and you wouldn't even know it, because it could be miles below the ice. So that's what we were talking about. And those weren't anywhere near as tall as the Eiffel Tower. But as you can see, the huge expansive amount of space that you would have. And like I said, add in sunlight does make its way down through the ice. Even we see plants grow up through cracks in our sidewalks. If life can find its way through cement, through teeny tiny cracks that allow just the littlest bit of light, imagine down there with the unending amount of water in the volcanic soil, what could be living and thriving. Now, real quick, just wanted to cover this. Lyft has suspended operations in the state of California. In the state of California, Uber likely to follow suit. This is a big deal because it shows something. You see, there was this thing where these companies had to classify their employees as employees and not independent contractors, or shut down. What did they choose to do? They shut down. Why? They couldn't make any money. So much for only socialists in California. You see, this is the case. When money can't be made, people will leave. Businesses will leave. Things will dry up. Now, on that note, thinking versus feeling. Thinking versus feeling. The people who are on the parentheses D side only make decisions based on their feels. They don't think. They believe they're thinking about certain things, but they're not. They're in their feeling brain. Now, quote, please clap. DNC mocked for failing to find 30 people to cheer for Kamala Harris as duplicates spotted on live feed. This was from the convention. And they had this virtual wall of people from their homes. And people noticed something. Hey, there's 5 rows, 6 each, so 30 images, but they've duplicated this one, and this one. If Harris and Biden were so popular, they should have had hundreds and hundreds of people wanting to be seen as supporting them and willing to clap. Oops. That's how bad it was. They have a problem. They have a problem, and it's a very euchre-like problem. Those of you up in Canada and in the Midwest will know what the game of euchre is all about. They're set right now. They've overplayed their hand. They have way overplayed their hand because they want to continue to be in the lead, so to speak. And we're just going to continue to set them. They have picked 2 people that are very, very, very unpopular amongst the 2 most important constituencies inside their group. They don't even need to worry about bringing parentheses R over to vote for them. They can't even get their own base on the same sheet of music. And this is another screenshot of that same image, a little bit better. Euchre is one of those games that's subtle. It really depends on the personalities of the people playing. Once everybody knows the rules as to who wins and who doesn't. And this card game is over right now. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. Because amongst the POC community, Biden is literally the most uninspiring thing around. And amongst the super radicals, the socialists, the people that infiltrated BLM and wanted to burn everything down, Harris is even worse. Seriously, they'd rather see 4 more years of Trump for their own selfish needs and reasons. They want to continue to see, the people in power as evil. They don't want to even try to wrap their mind around the idea of someone being in a position of power like in DC that they would support, because they don't even support the idea of it. They're complete anarchists, that specific group. Total anarchists that are against any government. And they're the most vocal, the most loud, operating on their feels. Here's actually another image where they did the same thing. They duplicated a guy here. But if you look at this image, they duplicated all of these. It's just insane what they are trying to hide. How absolutely unpopular this is. And the reason I even brought up Uber and Lyft, because it goes right along with it. It goes right along with it. Once the money dries up and there can't be profit in it, just wait. Just you wait until how all the socialists magically start to become, and I mean Washington, D.C. socialists, more capitalist. Because we all know that's the basis of cancel culture. We're going to threaten your money. Their idea of some utopian socialism would completely neuter them. Where the whole Star Trekian idea of we are beyond the concepts of earning money and getting paid and earning profit and blah, 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 and all that bullshit. That would neuter this group. That would neuter the revolutionaries. They don't want that. They don't want that at all. So that's why sometimes I think Antarctica might be a great choice. But of course, you'd have to have people that would be willing to wear a mask if it was necessary. And if you're gonna, why not get one from the Florida Maquis Mask Store? Capitalism 101. It is funny that a lot of people that support the current leader that come to my channel all of a sudden now are attacking me for only 7 weeks of capitalism. The Florida Maquis decides to incorporate a capitalist bend into his videos, and all of a sudden I'm evil. Primarily being attacked by people who support Mr. Trump, who spent virtually his entire life in the pursuit of billions and billions and billions of dollars. And then once he got into his 70s and had all of his properties and had all of the finest of everything, has decided now is the time he wants to give back. I sell masks for a couple of bucks profit each for 7 weeks, and all of a sudden, I'm a sellout? I'm a sellout. That's hilarious. That's truthfully the most hilarious thing I've ever heard, but the most exciting thing I've heard recently is this. Join us tonight, 8:15 p.m. to 11:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every single night, we're on night 14 consecutively, and we are getting very close to the culmination of the game. My character is a little bit low level. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing that I've gotten this far with that low level of a character, but tonight we're going to find a very hidden artifact, discover a secret cave, and we are going to go get the very last artifact out of Saragost. And then from there, I just really don't know what we're going to do. Max level on this game is 65, and I'm only at level 43. So, not really sure if I should go ahead and do the final battle yet or not, being that low level, because the game says if you do it, it changes the whole world irrevocably. And that's the great thing about the game, is that it's, and anybody who's been there can attest to this, and watch the game, watched me go through the game. It's unpredictable. You do one thing, you set a plan to go one way, the game will adapt and make it even harder, and make you change your plan. And it'll just stop what you're doing in the middle of things and then just change. And you've just got to be adaptable. It's an incredibly fun, incredibly challenging game, meant for people who are, and where's my thinkers, not feelers. So, I will leave it there. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys tonight at Twitch. Get yourself a mask, and trust me on this one, guys. This type of mask will get inside the liberals' heads and live rent-free for a long time. Because they'll look at you and say, okay, well, that person's come around and they're wearing a mask, so I guess they're reasonable people, but they're going to vote for Donald Trump? My brain hurts. I can't understand that. How can that be? They're wearing a mask, and they seem reasonable because they're wearing a mask, but they're voting for Donald Trump. How can the two things live in the same universe? You'll literally cause a brain tumor to form in every liberal that sees this. That's what the whole point of this has been. You want to mess with people? This is the best way to do it. And I'm not saying I'm wearing it all day long. Wear it at the grocery store. Wear it to the mall. Wear it someplace that you know liberals are going to see it. And it will be the greatest fun you've ever had. So, all right, I'll leave it there. God bless everyone. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe. We will see you next time.